vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Time to raise.
All right, welcome to Raise Your Vibration on Friday morning, September 4th. We're already in September. Fall is just around the corner, and good to see you all. Got a couple special guests today. And before I introduce them, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Kai.
Hello. Thanks for
How you
having me
doing?
on today.
How you doing this morning, Kai?
Yeah, having a great morning.
Excellent. Well, glad you're here. It's the first time you've been my co-host, I think. You were on as a speaker and a meditation exercise you did before.
Yes.
But glad to have you here as my co-host. And boy, there's so much going on in the world right now. Oh my. So it's good to come together as community and raise our vibration and make a difference here and put out some positivity and light. So thank you all for being here again. Today's special guest is Bev Wood. Bev and I have known each other for years, and Bev is 4 years as an astrologer. And what else? She teaches student of Ageless Wisdom. She's a certified BioTouch practitioner and the co-director of the International Foundation of BioTouch. Welcome, Bev. How are you?
Thank you, Howard. Thanks for having me today.
Good to have you here. And Luke and Claire are here, our musicians somewhere out there. So Luke and Claire, are you good to go? You want to unmute yourself if you can? Okay. Well, looks like they're still working on their technical difficulties. So what we're going to do here, we just played their song, but we're going to start out with the song, as always. So this is Luke and Claire doing the theme song for Raise Your Vibration.
Don't be confused, don't be ashamed. We are all here practicing the creation game. Chart out your course, get happy in between. Happy for no reason is the key to everything. You would be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. Open your heart, open that door. We're here to make a difference no one's ever made before. No limitation, don't believe in lack. We're all in this together and we're not turning back. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can choose the life you want to live. Don't push the river, it flows on its own. Just decide, get on the ride, you bought your ticket home. Go beyond the speed of light, claim your destiny. Fuel it up with love and flying perfect harmony. You wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be. You wouldn't be here if you didn't belong. You got something no one else on earth has got. So keep dancing, we're here to sing along. Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give. Raise your vibration. You can't choose the life you want to live.
All right. Welcome. I see Luke and Claire just came on too, so that's perfect. You guys want to unmute yourself? Can you do that? All right. Okay. Welcome, you two. We're going to start out with Bev and then come back to you two to play a few songs later on. So, Bev, cool. As always, good to see you.
Thank you, Howard. Thanks.
Yeah, we look forward to what you have to say today, your wisdom of 40 years of astrology. So please tell us what's going on in the world right now with all the planets and what's happening here.
Okay, so I'm going to try to stay on target here. I've got a lot to say in a very short time, so we'll see how that works. I'd like to start today by reminding us all that all physical manifestation has a spiritual cause and a purpose. So we need to start looking at a bigger picture and how this fact is contributing to the present global crisis, which is, by the way, offering all the forms of life on this planet the opportunity to evolve. So this has greater connotations than just about us, believe me. So I want to start by saying that astrology is the psychology of all relationships, whatever those happen to be, way beyond just the human. So when we look at the solar system, we see what we call planets, but actually these are very evolved conscious entities, and they are living and moving in a greater body that we call the solar system. But they're having relationships with each other. I call them brothers because when you take a look at a chart, what we see, we call them aspects, and they're in houses. This is how the solar system is looking at the moment an event takes place. So these great beings have always had relationships with each other. And one of those beings is the place where we live and move. It's the Earth Logos. So what's happening with him is that he is preparing for a great event in his own evolution. And these brothers of his are aiding him in his work of preparation. So he's in a crisis and a point of tension. This is what happens when you are preparing to take a next step. It happens to us. Law of correspondences, of course, it's happening to him. And he's cleansing his body, letting go of old forms, and using the two elements of purification referred to as fire and water. And we are clearly seeing that this is happening. So all of what's happening right now is really not about us, and yet we fit into this greater plan. And how do we do that? What is our purpose here? So he expresses himself, his very nature, through 7 actual kingdoms. 5 of them are known to us. And humanity comprises the 4th kingdom in his nature. We are a group of atoms and cells living and moving and having our being in his body. And of course, the fact that he is cleansing and preparing for his own evolutionary next step, it's going to stimulate us in some way. But we are here to play a really important role on this planet because we're not just humans. We are great radiant beings here to help him with his purpose. It's called a planet because there's always a purpose for every being and a plan to make that purpose manifest. So our purpose and our service here is to be the stewards and the saviors of these forms, these little lives in the three lower kingdoms, the mineral, the vegetable, and the animal. But as we can see, we've kind of dropped the ball. We've been very harmful to his nature, and we have now contributed to the crisis. So we're part of the cleansing that he is going through. So what I want to talk about today, I've chosen 3 planets that are really, since 2009, have really been contributing to this relationship with the Earth. And they're the transpersonal planets of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And we cannot handle them consciously individually yet. So they're ruling us by generations. They're ruling us by groups. So you will find that people born within a certain amount of years all will have the same planets in the same signs. This is more of a group event here. So I want to start with 2009, kind of kicked off everything. As an astrologer and talking with my peers, we realized that something was beginning. And it was when the planet Pluto went into the sign of Capricorn. So Pluto, as you know, has been designated as a little dwarf, but is the most powerful planet in terms of transformation in the solar system. He is the destroyer builder energy. And his purpose is to be a revealer of that which has been hidden in the dark. And what happens when you start shining the light into the darkness, you see all these little creatures and critters start scurrying around, and it's, all these whirling forms and all this ugliness. But we have to look at that ugliness and that darkness, because what comes out of the light is what needs to be transformed. And this is the biggest purpose. So Capricorn, being the consciousness, the one who correctly learns how to use the form, and in those thought forms, those crystallized patterns that have been set up for eons of time in humanity. And so basically what started to happen, and if you go back and you start thinking, all these old paradigms, all these old well-held, loving, crystallized, ancient thought form patterns were starting to be broken down. All of our social paradigms that we had all created together and bought into. So they started coming down and breaking open. What happens? Fear, a lot of fear. That's basically here how this fourth kingdom has dealt with being here, fear. So in 2010, then, we see that the planet Uranus, the planet that really rules this new age that's upon us, it is the age of mental polarization. It's mental revolution. It sets us in a new direction. Started coming in and stimulating this fourth kingdom on this planet in a more conscious way, rather than from the astral or the emotional plane, which we have always worked from. That's what has to change. And so it goes into Aries. Aries is this great initiator. It's the place where divine ideas are held and the will of God. So here we have this amazing revolutionary being on the mental plane that is beginning to initiate a new way of thinking and being. And the purpose was this was to begin a global initiation for humanity. Not only is the planetary logos going through this, but the fourth kingdom in nature, because again, we play a really, really important role here, which we haven't even begun. So let's take a look at what's happened in the last 2,100 years. This age of Pisces that is rapidly going out. You know, Pisces is the prodigal son, the story of the prodigal son that comes from the spiritual and eventually spiritualized matter form. But what's happened is we have developed this misplaced idealisms, a separateness and fear for the last 2,100 years and much older. Very ancient pattern for us. Pisces is a water sign. It rules the emotions. So here we are. We have been stuck in this whole emotional turmoil for 2,100 years. And now all of a sudden, we've got this new dispensation coming called the Aquarian, this keynote of brotherhood and inclusiveness, just the opposite. Aquarius is a fixed mental, it's an air sign. It is here to ram us up on the mental plane now. This dealing with all this ancient emotional body is what has kept us from moving forward. So the goal, immediate goal for humanity is mental polarization. We cannot be of service here when we are embroiled in separateness and fear and misplaced idealisms and hatred and all of the things, war. We can't be of service to this planet. And so just say there's nothing that says we're going to make it. He's going to be fine without us. He doesn't want to be, but he can. It's happened before. Now, what we've done is we've disconnected ourselves from the very source of our lives. In our case, it's called the soul, the causal body. We have been identifying with our personalities. We've been distracted and hypnotized by materialism and desire. And so what happened in 2012? Neptune, which holds the whole solar system, the principle of divine love and truth, on its highest sense. On its lowest, it rules glamour and desire and the astral body of humanity. And it went into its own sign of Pisces. Again, the story of the prodigal son. What has to happen in Pisces is what was supposed to happen during the Piscean age is reorientation. Reorienting ourselves back to our source so that we can spiritualize matter. This is the biggest part of why our radiant beings are here to help in this function. And now in 2019, Uranus has gone into a new sign, Taurus. Remember, Uranus, new insights. It rules the new age. It's about brotherhood. And brotherhood is all beings in all kingdoms of nature on this planet. We are our brother's keeper, not just in the human kingdom, but all kingdoms. And Taurus holds the substance of all forms. It is fixed earth. And on its highest level, illumination on the physical plane, taking responsibility for our stewardship here. And so all of the things that we are witnessing really are not about us. We need to get over that. We need to remember that we are just a group within a greater being, as he is in a greater being. And the continuity of life is right there. And that is what astrology holds for all of us, whether it is your own personal chart or whether it is about a constellation and these great beings called planets who are on their own playing, having these amazing relationships and helping where we are. We need to be conscious. We need to start living more from the world of causes and seeing clearly the effects of that, because we're co-creators here. And this is what this is all about, guys. We can choose. We can choose to be a part of it, or we can choose to be in the way. It's up to us. But I want to say that the heart of humanity is sound. We need to wake up. We need to grow up, and we need to step up. And we need to be of service here, loving service. By the way, the Earth, believe it or not, the Earth School, there's one subject that we're all here to take, and it's called love. Everything in this solar system, every entity, every being is evolving the potential of true love. We don't know what that is, but we're beginning to speak it. We're beginning to sense it. So we're in the Earth School to learn how to love. So I would just say to all of us, let's be very, very, let's see this bigger picture. Let's become the visionaries that we're intended to be. Let's see beyond our personality lives and see who we really are. Radiant beings here to aid in this great effort. So thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Howard, and thank everyone. I've really enjoyed sharing some thoughts with you today.
Thanks, Bev. So I've got some questions and ideas that came to my mind. Kai, do you want to unmute yourself? And we'll open up the line for questions for other people too. But first thing is, question I have, Bev, is according to the planets, is it a choice that we make to be love, or is it going to unfold naturally?
So
and when it does, when does it say, that timing is going to happen?
So each and every one of us is a gossamer thread, I'll say, from a great group there's a soul group. And each of us is an individualized thread of that group. It has to begin with each of us in our own lives. Everything embodied in this solar system is a threefold form. We are spirit, we are soul, and we are form. And in that, the spiritual is the first aspect, the father, the masculine, creative, generative aspect. Its polarity is the womb, the mother, the form, the feminine, the receptive. And the link between mother and father is the soul, conscious, loving entity. So our work as a personality life is to contact that causal body, the source of our life. In astrology, I take a look at how the personality is to partner up and get out of the way. Make no mistake, we don't have a purpose here as an individual. Our only purpose is to get out of the way of the agenda of the soul, whose life this is. That's a big thought form for most humanity right now, because they're so focused and polarized in their ego, their personality ego. So this whole process begins with each one of us. It's called the path. The masters have been talking about this forever and ever in giving us guidance. All of this belongs to us, because I will tell you, we are great essences of divine love. That's our true self. We have to begin to raise ourselves out of this thought form that this is who we are. I always tell my students, let's talk about who you are and who you're not. This is the beginning. but it has to happen for each one of us. We all have to begin the work. This is the true work that we're doing here in the school. Sorry, there's no magic button, you know? We're developing tools so that we can allow the soul to fulfill its purpose in our lives and then in the group. The soul is not, it's only group oriented. It does not know it's separate. It does not. So, does that answer your question?
Most definitely does. Yes. So thank you. Kai, you have some questions?
Yeah, I want to jump out here. Paul had asked, how can your personal chart help us understand our job or our purpose during these times?
I'm sorry, Kai, did you say the chart?
Yeah, our personal charts.
Yeah, what we have to understand is personality. So I do soul-centered astrology, which is really geared for the personality to understand its part that it plays in the agenda of the soul. So we're always having to release the past, those things that are no longer necessary or useful. All beings do that. And then integrate into the present experience the nature of the personality. So in astrology, that's called the past is the moon and the present is the sun. But the rising sign, the ascendant in the chart, points to the unfolding potential of the soul. And once we understand what the soul is really attempting, what the plan is to unfold, then the personality can partner up and basically get out of the way of heaven. And then we can see, then I take a look at how that soul is to be of service to the earth. So it's a very integrated awareness for the personality to understand. And at the same time, it reminds us of the cause of our experience here, which, by the way, many, we are just the latest version of this great entity that we call our soul. Just the latest version. Does that help, Kai?
Definitely. And that kind of leads me to my next question. You had mentioned old thought forms, and I was wondering if there's a best way to release old thought forms, or if there's more personalized. I know we want to get away from me, of course, but in our signs that help us determine which ways would be best to get rid of those thought forms.
Yeah, that's a process called reprogramming, reorienting, and then re-identification. And it's a work, it's the work. But definitely an astrology chart, a natal chart, is an indication of what needs to be, because the work here is equilibrium. It's equilibrium. This is the physical world is the polarity of dualities, okay? So you have this and then you have that. Our work is to become the midway path. That's where the soul is. Our work is to become soul infused and to serve. So thought forms, as you know, is the womb of all things emotional, and then boom, all things manifested. So what has to happen is, in the beginning, we have to reprogram those old thought forms that are not working. Now, when I take a look at where Mercury is in the chart, this can indicate a direct path to understanding how the focusing lens of the mind is being used by the soul. So what we have to do is we have to begin to reprogram those old thought forms that have now crystallized into patterns. And we can take also a look at the moon. That's what needs to be released. And whatever that work we're doing, it's the same. No matter if you're a planetary logos or a soul working or a solar deity. The continuity of life is what we need to be reminded of. and understand. It's not enough anymore to say we're connected. That's a moot point, actually. So thought forms, we've all bought into the same thought forms. We've all decided that certain paradigms on this planet will be accepted. And now what's happening? They're not anymore. They're not useful to us because humanity has evolved spiritually. Doesn't seem so sometimes, but it's true. The masters are very clear about that. So anyway, changing the thought forms, this is where it begins, individually again, and then the group.
Definitely. Thank you. Lots to digest there. Does anyone else have any questions that they want to jump out here and ask?
If you do, unmute your phone or your tablet or computer.
Like Debbie's coming on.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello. Bev, I am so grateful for hearing what you had to say, because everything that I have been involved in all through my life up until this moment has brought me to realize that everything that I have done, been allowed to do, been encouraged to do, is absolutely in alignment with what is happening now. And I am so grateful. It's a validation that the work that I have been doing and what I've been led to do to help others through self-talk, which is a reprogramming, and through Sukyo Mahikari, which is offering light and working directly with the spiritual cells. And I just found this week a chart that was done for me, predicting 30 years of service that I'm in the middle of now, and that's what my prayer is now. Every day, please allow me to be of service. I pray for the guidance. What would you have me do today?
There you go.
And oh my God, thank you so much, because it just was a message to me that yes,
You're doing it.
action. Because I pray every day to be a beneficial presence in this world. And what you just said to me is that I'm absolutely headed in the direction of where I'm supposed to be going. And oh my God.
That's wonderful. You know, you mentioned something I think really important. It's this we. We are not an I. This is how we have to proceed. What is it that you want us to do? When you start really anchoring into that relationship, personality to its soul, things begin to happen. Because, yeah.
And I've been joking that for the last 40 years, it comes out as a joke, but it's not. I said, all I've been looking to do for the last 40 years is get out of my own way.
Yeah, there you go. Get out of the way of heaven. Thank you, Debbie. That was very nice. I'm glad you got something from that. Yeah.
Thank you, Debbie. All right. Well, thanks, Bev. You were amazing. You want to put your information? Oh, Katie has a question. Oh,
hi. Sorry, I'm on mute because I have low cell reception.
Yeah. No
but
worries.
I was curious. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, for starters. That was really cool. I've always heard Earth referred to as Mother Earth or she, and you referred to it as him, and that was interesting to me, and I'd love to hear your take on that.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking about that earlier. I said, now somebody's going to say, wait a minute. So I think I mentioned before, and let me clarify this. All beings in evolution are threefold. The cosmic deity himself is threefold. There is a spirit, a soul, a form. The first order of business, the reason why in the ancient wisdom that all beings are referred to as him is because the creative first aspect of spirit is always masculine. It's masculine. The feminine polarity of that is the womb, the mother. So the earth himself is this great being, and he takes on all great beings at his level are in a circle. So we have the square personality, we have the triangle, the soul, and the spirit is round. Okay, so these great beings are working at this. They are keys, but what the nature and the life that is manifested within his body is referred to as mother, because it's the womb of the form of his thought forms. So he is manifested, he holds this great thought form of his plan. And then it is manifested in the womb of the mother. And then we have this amazing causal body, ego, lotus, whatever you want to call the soul. There's a million, the middle principle that links the thought, that is the word, and then boom, we have the womb, the mother, the form. So they can't be, there's the 3 in 1 and the 1 in 3. You can't have one without the other. So, but just know that all beings are comprised of this Trinity. This is the great law of the whole cosmic unfoldment. And it is all conscious. It's conscious evolution. So when we look at, just say, the humanity, and we have a whole array of, you know, you look at some and you go, wow, these are barely seeds in the human kingdom. And then you have great masters. What's going on? How come there's such a large discrepancy? It's because of the point of conscious evolution. And I do want to say this, these relationships with the planetary logos, one of them being our Earth, for us, our Earth, when that natal chart, however, because I've said this again, we don't have Saturn in our 3rd house. Saturn does not know we exist, okay? He's a great being. But what we do is we feel that relationship between those brothers, and how wherever we are in conscious evolution is how we're going to react to that. That's the big thing. So just wanted to put that out there, because two people can have Saturn in the 3rd house in the same sign, and believe me, they're going to react to it totally different based on their point of evolution consciously. So that's the determining factor. But every being is just threefold: Father, Spirit, Mother Matter, and the Son, the Word. So we have to right thought, right word, right action. That's the 3 R's for us.
Oh, okay.
So they're all one. They're just different expressions of the one. But you strip away the form, which is temporary. Mother Nature here is temporary. The soul is temporary. It's a vehicle that's been created from the spirit to provide us the form. The only thing that we have left is pure love, pure spirit, pure essence of the divine. That's what we're working towards. Good luck to us.
Good
We'll
luck
get
to
there.
us.
We'll get there.
Thanks,
for your
Katie.
question.
Thank you.
All right. So, Bev, if you want to put your information in the chat of, about yourself and your information so they can contact you, get a hold of you.
Okay.
Please do that.
I certainly will.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for being here again, Bev.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been lovely to be with all of you today.
Thank you. And if you want to mute yourself out, we're going to bring on Luke and Claire here. Luke and Claire, if you want to unmute yourself. Awesome. Welcome, you two.
Very exciting, and I just wanted to really thank you, Bev, because here we are after almost 50 years of music for these two guys. They haven't seen each other in 50 years, but they used to be close friends, and I'll let Luke introduce Mike, but it's like what you were talking about, that we really have a big picture going on and see the flow of our lives and see how much we can accomplish if we're all just heading towards pure love and just see how things unfold and manifest. So yeah, I really want to thank you. That was very moving. So on bongos, we have Mike today, and I'll let Luke introduce him.
Yeah, Michael Carr, my good friend, and we used to be in a band together many, many years ago, but it still works. The magic is still there. So we're going to do one of our Luke and Claire originals for you, because we want all of you to walk free. Here we go. Do, 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 do. 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 Worn out, I tried to paddle upstream. Do, 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 do. I wake up, you're living in a daydream. Do, 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 do. Do what you want. Oh, all you really step out of the past. We got a new feeling now that I see. Nothing can deceive me. We'll walk free. Believe me. Do, 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 do. 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 Out there, everyone's discarded. Do, 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 do. Who's next to be dearly departed? Do, 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 do. Who do you want? Oh, you really step out of the past. We got a new feeling now that I see. Nothing can deceive me. We'll walk free. Believe me, I got time. Words don't rhyme. There's no need for push and shoving. We got time enough, but we got time. We got time enough for real loving. Do, 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 do. 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 Pull out, leave nothing in the shadow. Do, 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 do. Relax, you know the cost of battle. Do, 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 do. Give me your hand, ain't nothing gonna take you when you look in my eyes. You know I won't forsake you, I wanna hear a new beat out of your heart. We'll walk free, a new start, I don't care if all the words don't rhyme. There's no need for push and shoving. We got time enough, but we got time. We got time enough for real loving. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. I don't care if all the rhyme. There's no need for push and shoving. We got time enough, but we got time. We got time enough for real loving.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Awesome, you too. I love your little bongos in the background. That's great, Mike.
Starting a third. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay.
So, you
Ready to
know,
be with you.
in honor of these two guys who were the most outrageous rebels back 50 years ago, I can't even tell you
Don't tell
some
me.
of the stuff they got into, one of our more rebellious songs. But plain day and time, and what's going on with them.
And as positive people, it's good to say yes to so many things, but sometimes you need to say no. Right? Okay.
Go.
Ba-ba-da, ba-ba, ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba, ba-ba-da. I talk to all kinds of people, Everywhere I go, they're all different, but they seem the same. Told what to think, told what to talk, how to win, how to play the game. Dumbing us down ever lower, lower, lower. Everybody needs an equal grade. Never take a stand on anything you feel, cause they keep you so afraid. Oh, I don't wanna listen to your cookie cutter crap no more. As you represent, duplicate, replicate, mindless fools to fight your war. Getting off the grid, living on my own, I can hardly wait. Tired of you telling me who I gotta love and who I got to hate. I say no, this is my life. No, this is my world. I know, this is my life. I ain't gonna do all the things that you tell me to. Saddled with debt, divorce and regret, but at least I got a brand new car. I'm an ideal consumer with a mediocre job keeping me from going too far. Mom and dad are on meds, they got it in their heads, I should have been a corporate clone. Time to break free, I feel the urgency, I can make it on my own. I say no, this is my life. No, this is my world. I know, this is my life. I ain't gonna do all the things that you tell me to. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba da ba 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 da. Watching on the screen another commentator telling me what I'm supposed to be. Every other expert is an educated flunky and they're always talking down to me. Why should I listen when they're so often wrong, but saying what they're told to say? Cause I got a brain, I can see they're all insane, and I'm happy going my own way. I say no, this is my life. No, this is my world. I know, this is my life. I ain't gonna do all the things that you tell me to. No, this is my life. No, this is my world. I know, this is my life. I'm only gonna do the things I really want to do.
All right, you two, three. Thank you very much. That was awesome. And look forward to seeing you and having you on for the big extravaganza we're doing here. It'll actually be a week in a few days. So you'll be part of that, along with two other musicians, Cerise Patron and Todd Herzog, as well as we have speakers, Dr. Greg Reed, Dr. Sharon Stills, Clifford Starks, and Angel Monticelli. So for all of you that are here today, we appreciate your support, giving you a promo of 15% off. The link is actually on the chat if you want to check it out. And it's going to be a fabulous day. Kai, are you there? You want to unmute yourself? And Kai is one of my partners on this and putting it together with me, as well as Luke and Claire. So both of you, if you want to talk a little bit about the extravaganza, please do.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited because this is an amazing lineup of speakers, like just incomparable, really fantastic lineup of speakers. And they're people that individually lift me up. They make me feel good. They bring me out of any doldrums and help me get moving on what my dreams are. Any single one of them would be fantastic. And the musicians, he can't speak for us, but I can sure say that Todd Herzog is fantastic. He's got such a voice, so many good songs out there, and he's been such a contribution in the world. And then Cerise Patron, oh my gosh, the most beautiful voice, over 100 originals that are all about inspiration, lifting people up. She's such a dream to listen to. So I hope that y'all will not only take advantage of this 15%, but share this link and get it out there. And we're not doing this because we're in some corporate effort here. The only reason we came together with Howard is to help him create a happier tone, a happier sound, a way of thinking, a way of life that can help lift people up right now. So nobody's out there for a ton of money, and these speakers are, some of them not even getting paid. But the idea is just get the good vibes raising up. So thank y'all, and please do share.
Awesome. Thanks, Claire. Kai, did you want to mention anything about the event?
Well, definitely got most of it covered there, which is very exciting. Just I always like to think about how just this hour each week, or now every other week, you know, can bring such joy and high vibration. And to think about 3 hours of all these amazing people coming together and the connections you're going to be making through the event, just all very exciting, and hope everyone will join us there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be amazing, 3 hours. And it's not all going to be like straight speaking and music. We're going to have some meditations in between, in the middle. So we have a little break from watching the screen. But it's going to be, a Sunday, a day where we can just all get together as community and really raise it up like we do here on Friday, every other Friday. But we're going to have 3 hours of just amazing music, speakers, meditations. So please share it with everyone that you can. And it's raiseyourvibration.live is the link there. So check it out. And we look forward to having you with us. Join us then. The next Friday that we're going to do is going to be 2 weeks from today. So that'll be after the event. And it'll be Friday. We're going to have actually a spiritual optometrist on. Her name is Kim Leinert. And she deals with light. Actually, that's how she treats her patients, with light. And she's been doing it for over 25 years now. So we try to have variety and diversity on this show. So she'll be the first doctor that we're having. Well, actually, that's not true. We've had naturopathic physicians, but she's the first optometrist that we're going to have here on the show. And we're going to have Jeffrey Allen Berkeley, who is an amazing musician. He's friends with Luke and Claire, and he also writes for Jason Mraz, a lot of his songs. So we look forward to having him on in a couple weeks. So that'll be amazing. So lots going on, the extravaganza on the 13th, and then right after that, the Friday after that, the Friday event. So look forward to having you all join us. Thank you for being here again. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Luke and Claire. And Kai is going to lead us home with a little meditation. And have a great weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day. We'll see you next Sunday on the extravaganza. Bye, y'all.
All right. So I want to do a quick meditation, because we got just a few minutes, about unplugging. I know a lot of people do cord cutting, but I actually like to think of it as unplugging the cord so that nothing is left within you. So go ahead. If your feet are on the ground, we're going to envision the breath coming up through our feet. We're going to take 3 nice grounding breaths right now. So in through the feet. Vision that breath coming all the way up through our abdomen, through our chest and arms, and then out through our head. And exhale. And again, bringing that breath in, feeling nice and grounded, nice and connected to the earth. It's very easy during this time of change to become ungrounded, but through our breath and through our work, we can always stay connected and stay grounded. One more breath in for the feet. All right. You can go ahead and gently close your eyes if you haven't already. And I want you to envision yourself in a really safe, high vibrational place. For me, this is a golden tower, and I can look out and see the ocean and the mountains all in one. If you want to have that vision with you, or if you feel more comfortable on the beach, or you feel maybe even your home is the best place you feel safe, wherever you feel, just go ahead and envision that now. And we're going to scan our body. We can either do this through just our thoughts, or if you even want to run your hand up along your body, see if there's any cords that are currently connected to us. Is there anything that's holding us back, or preventing us from becoming our true selves and living in our true self every day. Really take a moment to scan and find what may be plugged into you. And if you do find a cord, take note of what this cord looks like. Is it old and gray and it's been there for lifetimes, or is it new and a new process that might have just happened and we're ready to release it? When we find these cords, we're going to call upon the archangels for love and support. And we're going to unplug. I want you to visually see this cord being unplugged from you and dropping to the ground and disintegrating. This cord no longer has place here with us. We are freely moving. We are ever growing and changing. We embrace the change. Whether you find one cord or a few cords, go ahead and unplug them now. Remembering to breathe. And know that this is something you can always come back to. And I recommend doing it rather frequently, because you never know what you might bump into in everyday life and need to release those cords. Now, this was just a nice quick meditation, but you can, of course, spend more time in this moment if you need, or you can come back to it. But for now, we're going to say goodbye to our healing space and come back fully to our bodies, surrounding ourselves in love, making sure where those cords were plugged in, we have green emerald light healing us, blue light protecting us, and pink light showing ourselves love so that we can show the whole world love. I thank you all for your time. Have a wonderful long weekend.
All right. Thanks, Kai. Appreciate you doing that last minute.
Of course.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Thanks for being here again and being part of our community. Namaste. We'll see you soon.
Raise your vibration. Show the world what you got to give.